Merchants and Planners Bank was founded in 1946 by farmers and business owners because they needed a community bank that knew them and understood their business. A lot has changed since then, but Merchants and Planners Bank is still employee-owned and operated, and we're still committed to knowing and understanding the needs of every customer we serve. Great rates, fast turnarounds, and experienced local bankers ready to work for you. That's why you should choose Merchants and Planners Bank. Stop in any of our 12 locations or contact us at mnpbank.com.
Last week?
Week before. Yeah, Brian Ritter right there. Yeah, it sure is.
Looks like he didn't play last week. Hey!
How are you, sir?
Doing good.
Well, we get
Still playing football.
Still playing football. Before we let it get away from us, David Braxton was the Fathead Pizza Collision of the Week last week. This week, Sam Doyle was the Fathead Pizza, and that's one word, and it's all caps. He was the collector of the pizza certificate this week. Those are yours to give to the kids, sir. Sorry I'm tardy on day days.
So that was probably the pancake on the block he had on day days, and then Sam came downhill, hit number 2 pretty hard, didn't he?
He did.
He fit that alley and wrapped him up.
Absolutely.
He was one of the many guys that stepped up this week.
And we gave Carson Austin, and when he picked off his pass, we gave him the Hustle Player of the Week. And when he picked off his pass, it was just so hard for me to get Carson, and it's still hard for me to get Carson Austin out. I said, Carson. I just kept stuttering around. But Carson, I know who you are. I know what your name is, too. It was just trouble for me to get it out. Coach, Hounds in the first round of the playoffs, big victory. And you asked me when you came in, did I expect that? And I said, I didn't expect it to be just like that.
Yeah.
We played well in a lot of spurts. Talk about some of those well spurts that we played in.
I mean, it was no secret that we were down some guys, injuries and other things here and there. No reason to rehash bad memories.
Right, yeah.
The kids were just extremely motivated. Played with a high level of sense of urgency. B.J. Elston, lone senior, out there Friday night getting to start. You could tell he didn't want his season. He did not want his career to be over.
Essentially hard.
Did not want it. Was hurt his shoulder. He's fine, but wanted to. Had we not been up where we were at that point, he was. I'm good. I'm ready to come back in. No, you're done. We're up. We're good right now. We're gonna live to fight another day. But yeah, it was a very exciting game. I put it in my top 5. Yeah, coaches all have a top 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's hard to get in that top 5 after you've coached longer and longer.
Oh yeah, I know.
I know.
Lots of reasons behind that.
But yeah, it's a circumstantial top 5. Really, though.
Sure.
Not necessarily like when I was at Southside, we beat Stuttgart for the first time. That's a
right.
big deal.
That's a big one, yeah.
That's pretty damn good. But, and this much was 5-5. They're about like us, whatever. But considering the circumstances, it was an exciting win. It was a big win, and it was very gratifying. And I was so proud to see the next guys up that just did everything right. And it was like you couldn't even tell that our starting D-line wasn't out there.
I know.
You couldn't tell at any point that Tyler, who's really good, Cruz, and Zylan weren't out there because it was Carson and Destin and Jay Grady doing the same things, and there was other positions. Sam Doyle, like I said, they just came in and did what they had to do. Partially because we've played some of these guys this year.
And they've gotten some reps.
And I've said it. I said, if anybody can handle this, it's us. If anybody says Arkansas can handle this, it's us. And because we've played so many kids this year due to whatever reason, because we wanted to. And I've always been big on getting them in as fast as you can. And if you're in a blowout, get them out there. I'm not the guy that's trying to put 65 points on you. I want to get a comfortable lead and play guys because that's the future. And it starts paying. You don't think it at the time, but it's paying off right now because they didn't seem like nobody was out there nervous.
We didn't miss a beat either.
Nobody was out there like on defense worried about. They've played so much this year, even though a lot of them hadn't started all year, that they were comfortable. And even on offense, played a few newbies on offense, but most of those people that they had to play, we moved around and put pieces together, had been out there, so there wasn't any freak out mode. A few extra penalties here and there, just due to the fact of moving kids around. New center, you have different. That messes things up more than people think. So we only downside I saw on Friday night was the penalties, but again, I think we got everybody back this week. Clean that up, get ready to have a little fun. But it was good. It was a good game, exciting game, and I keep saying the sense of urgency was crazy. It was awesome, and I want to see it again this week.
I want to ask you about Money. Money went out of the game, bruised up a little bit. I did speak with his mom Saturday, maybe Sunday. doing better. Can you give us a little report there? And
He is.
I know he's going to be ready.
He's a dog, man.
Yeah,
That's what I keep saying.
he's ready.
He's texting me, Coach, I'm good. Saturday morning, I'm good. There's nothing wrong with me.
So if anybody's out there looking and want to know, Tu will be there Friday night. Okay, he'll be there.
Yeah. There you go. All hands will be on deck. So yeah, you might want to go back a couple of weeks and watch film.
Yeah, last week. Yeah, that's a different game. But the depth that it builds for our future, because you couldn't insert seniors. Obviously, we didn't have seniors to insert. No. We inserted young guys, and a lot of our ninth graders got to play and played some quality minutes in a playoff game, in a playoff atmosphere. So, I mean, it's just awesome for our program to be able to do that. And, I thought overall it was a big win for our program.
Yes, sir. I mean, you brought in the guys like Trey Henderson when it was still a game.
Yes.
Because I had to, and he goes in and makes it behind the line tackle. Bring in Jaden Robinson.
Yes,
sir. It's still a game because I had to, and he doesn't miss a beat. It's like that just – you as a coach are nervous to make moves like that with young guys.
Right.
But when you're forced to do it and then they prove what they have to you, then you're like, oh my God, this is we're excited. I'm excited to be the coach of the Greyhounds right now because this season isn't over.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
And just looking forward, I'm like, these guys are just smart bunch of kids coming up, and there was no fear in their eyes. And that's why they won Friday night.
I think
they won. Those kids went out there and did it Friday night because they weren't afraid of anything, and they thought they were supposed to win, and they did win.
I think a lot of times we might overlook it as a fan, maybe not necessarily as a coach, but you go, I'm not so sure that with the lineup that we're going to put out there, are these guys ready? And you knew that they were ready.
Wednesday
knew.
Wednesday was unbelievable practice.
Yeah.
When we walked away, I was like, I think we're going to win this game by 2 touchdowns.
There you go.
I didn't see that. We got
right.
some
It's
momentum.
hard to forget that in the playoffs.
Well, momentum got to rolling our way. Some of those kicks, just bounced our way. We jumped. It was a hustle. Had a lot to do with that. And then, that's the way it works. They drove 3.5 hours, and all of a sudden it goes the opposite way. I've been on that side of it too. I don't forget Charleston very easily. I check that in my brain the rest of my life, and all of a sudden you look up and you're down 28-0. Like,
yes, sir. You go, what happened?
What happened? Things weren't going our way. That happens. It happens. It goes. I've been on both sides of it. So, hats off to those kids. There was a lot of. There was one questionable, penalty that I didn't care much for. But other than that, most of those kids out there, they were out there trying to pick our kids up, and they were trying to be good sports, and they were trying, to be.
I saw a lot of good sportsmanship from both sides.
Yeah,
sure did. Yeah.
It wasn't anything bad going on out there. There was one thing. I'm not gonna get into it. I don't like talking about that stuff, but yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. I think everybody's healthy, so we'll be good and move on. But yeah, an exciting game. We got to move on though,
Sure.
The next
it's next week.
Next
week is this week.
Next team's quite a bit better.
Yes, sir. Well, and when you look at it on film, and I've looked at a little film on Harmony Grove, and we're not going to sit here and discuss these guys, much, but obviously, when you're 8-2, when you're a conference champ, and you're a number 1 seed, you're a good football program.
Absolutely.
You got to buy. They in Salem got to buy. Didn't have to play in the first round, so plenty of time to rest. And I'm one of those guys that always look at it and say, if it's us that got the rest, it's because we needed the rest. If somebody else got the rest, I say, well, it could be a little rusty.
I'll stand on the record and say, unless I'm bit by an injury bug, I don't like the buys.
Right.
Our kids are a routine and rhythm people.
Yeah.
And high energy. So, but it may work well for other people. I don't know.
Right.
I hope not.
There you go.
It can hurt you. It can hurt your routine, your rhythm, and all that stuff. So who knows? We'll see. Great team. One of their losses was the Hardin Academy, who's beats a lot of people.
Right. Yeah. They do.
And I can't remember the other one, but they were both non-conference, one undefeated in conference. And
did they get beat by a team in Louisiana, maybe? Somebody.
They did. That's right. It was Louisiana,
21,
Haynesville, Louisiana.
Haynesville, Louisiana. 21-20 or something. Yeah.
Who apparently, Louisiana's got some pretty good football.
Absolutely.
So their 2 losses are nothing to be ashamed of. So really good team. Well, that's what you expect. You might get sometimes you get an easy first round game, but
right
after that, it's second quarterfinal semis. You're not going to have any more easy ones. So it is what it is. We're ready to roll. Great practice today, great energy. It was good to see all the kids out there. Ready, some of the kids that didn't get to play last week were overly excited.
Right.
Cruz Gomez was just energy off the charts today.
There's a guy I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to and I want to interrupt you just to put this to say this. Not a guy that you go, well, he's given us 4, 5, 6 years right here, but not a guy that had a lot of steam coming into the program, and then all of a sudden at mid-year got to be playing exceptionally well with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of hustle, a lot of grit, and a lot of determination. This guy has turned in, and then he's been on both sides of the ball recently. That guy has turned into a good football player.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's a senior that doesn't want the season to be over either. He wants to keep rolling, and he'll probably play on both sides of the ball this week. So get ready. He knows that we ripped him today on both sides of the ball, and been very good on the defensive line. He's we kid with him a lot. He's grown up a lot.
Absolutely.
He really has, and this is glad to see him finish with our program. Glad to see that kind of growth. As a coach, that's the most enjoyable thing you see. A lot of people don't realize that. For me, most coaches, when you see the growth and the development, and that's when you feel like you're really doing something.
Sure.
And he's been one that we're really proud of, and obviously his production on the field, but he had 3.0 last 9 weeks in the classroom. I mean, just kind of getting things together, doing things right. He'd be the first one to tell you last year was up and down a lot, but this year's been much better. So glad to have him there. Hope we get to play a few more games with him, or 3, 4, 5 more games with him, however many we got left, and we'll see what happens.
When you have a sophomore quarterback and you have a sophomore wide receiver, and you look up and those 3 guys connect for 3 touchdowns early in the football game, you kind of go, golly gee, I think these guys may be pretty special. Good protection overall from a makeshift offensive line, and it was makeshift.
It was.
And what I mean by that is just let's plug this guy in here, let's plug another guy in over here, and let's just plug 5 different guys.
We had to move some guys that had been starting other spots just to make the best line that we could.
Absolutely. Great protection though for Luke, and just and throw the ball on. Throwing darts, and Money gets 3 touchdowns early, and
some of those passes, the 2-point conversion to Tonio in the corner, perfect.
Yes,
it's absolutely perfect. A couple of passes to Money early on, and then one of them is left a little short, but Money and perfect Money style comes back and grabs it and takes it from the guy. So it's exciting, man. We're there's. You walk in our building right now, and it's extremely high energy. They come running down there from school. The bell rings, and it's almost too much energy sometimes. But I love it because I'm a high energy guy. I just got to get them focused to get them into practice sometimes. But everybody's excited, and again, everybody talks about, y'all gonna be so good next year, next year. Like this year.
We're trying to play this year.
We're the second round of playoffs. There's not many more left. You win, you go steal one right here, and don't sell. And listen, don't fall asleep on Osceola, who just won 64-0 last week against Foul.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
I said it when we beat him. I said,
they'll get it rolling.
I said, wait till you see him in November. And that's a great Boonville team they're going to see. Man, when you got athletes that they have, who knows? And I told the kids today, I said, I bet y'all didn't even know this. I said, just give you a little extra motivation. If we win and Osceola wins, guess where we play next week? Thanksgiving Friday. At home against Osceola. So, not trying to, and I just do that to, they were like, really?
There you go.
I don't think they knew that. I was like, well, that's the way it is what it is. But let's go handle our business. And I don't know what's going to happen with that other game. If we win this one, go to Boonville, whatever. I don't care. We'll go wherever. It's time to play ball.
The tradition here has always been, and one of the goals has always been, we say we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs, but a goal is playing on that championship or on the Thanksgiving weekend toward the championship. That's a goal that we always set, and it's always big. It's a big time for Newport Grand football. If that goal is an attainable goal, and it's an attainable goal.
One game. Between us and Thanksgiving practice again this year.
There you go.
And I think I looked up at the board. That'd be 3 years in a row.
Awesome.
And that'd be the first time in a long time I kind of went and looked at it.
You looked at it? Yeah.
It'd be 3 years in a row, and then I looked down there and said, it's been 20-plus years since that's happened.
Really?
I'll guarantee it. Every bit of it. Maybe 25 years. So That'd be a big deal for those seniors. Think about that. You're a small senior class, but all 3 years you got to do that. That'd be a big deal for them.
You live with that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You can say, I did. Nobody can beat. Well, I guess somebody could if they played, as a freshman. And then,
Well, I have some that
4 years in a row. Yeah.
I have some.
Yeah, hey, and it may be on the rise, and you never know.
If we get this one, I'd be pretty disappointed if we don't get the next 3.
That's
To be honest with
exactly
you,
right. Exactly.
we better
right.
at least be in the conversation. But that gets you in the conversation when you get to that. That's the final 8, Elite 8, whatever you want to call it. Anything can happen when you
Good
get to that
company.
point. You get to that point, everything's exciting. You see what happens. Like I said, everybody knows we're going down there. We're the underdogs. They're the 1 seed. We're the 3 seed. We've been pretty inconsistent this year. I mean, to say the least, at times. Sometimes you watch us, you're like, I'm sure some film people watch on us. They don't want to play us.
Right.
And then sometimes they watch and say, "What in the world?" But we're hoping we can fix all that. And after watching last week, watching our kids' effort level, that fixes a lot of mistakes.
I think the effort level, and you hit it on the head. The effort level, in all fairness, has been there most all year.
Well,
our effort has.
When I got here, some people would. Everybody wants to tell you what they think about it. When I got here, I said I love talking football. Talk to me about it. Stay positive, whatever. I don't care. You don't even stay positive with me if you don't want to. But as long as you're positive with the kids. But I listen to people and I'll hold conversations. And said something about the Newport kids they'll quit on you. It ain't like the good old days. And go back to every game we played this year. Did you ever see that? We're getting Truman. I mean, our kids fought to the last second, even when stuff went bad at the end. Because it was a game, most of the game. Just think of all the games that got down to the wire. Equipment, did we quit against Quitman?
No, we didn't. We couldn't.
If we'd have quit against Quitman, they'd have won.
They'd have won the game.
They'd have won the game. I mean, I look back at the close. I mean, Perryville, the kids, they got on us, and it was a game, and all of a sudden they scored that one late, and they got that pick six. Boom, we come back and score a touchdown. And our kids we're calling timeouts, and they're fighting their hearts out to the very end. It hadn't happened. That will carry over to the future.
See, here's one thing though and I'm the ultimate positive guy. I don't remember when we ever quit. You know what I mean?
I don't. I mean, I'm just.
You're just talking conversation.
People said to me, I was like,
yeah,
man, I don't
we're not going to. But it's good if people think that and they see the growth and they believe in the growth. That's what we want. We want our fans to be able to see that we're getting better, that we're doing our dead level best to get better as a program and to get better. And I mean, if you're not doing that, then nobody's doing their job. I'm not doing my job. You're not doing your job.
No.
And so we're doing what we need to do, and we're not going to quit.
No,
I don't think we're ever going to quit.
No, I hadn't seen even.
I just know that I like the team because if you say you only have 4 seniors on your team, and I've said this from the day one, it's hard for those guys to find enough leadership within your program to have a very successful run. And this thing is setting up for us to possibly have a very successful run. First of all, you have to get in. You got to get in, and then when you get in, anything can happen.
That's right.
And you can't win 5 in a row until you win 1 in a row. And you can't win 2 in a row until you win 1 in a row. And we've got that out of the way. And we've got a big challenge on our hand. I was looking at the bracket today, and I go,
oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody that I thought should have won probably did win. The only one that not really shocking to me, Jessieville beat Rising 40-27. Rising was the number 3 team out of the 6, and Harmony Grove the number 1 team out of the 6. But anyway, other than that, I mean, you look at it, I think everybody was on cue, and we talked about Salem and Harmony Grove both won against Bye. Well, poor old Bye. You're undefeated against them.
Yeah, that's right.
They just have a tough time.
They do. They have a tough time. But that Rising team, they're always traditional powerhouse. They're a little down this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're down this year, which everybody has their ups and downs. I guarantee you they'll be back.
They'll be back.
But
changed coaches, correct?
They did.
Yeah.
Transition.
Toddy went to.
Well, where did Toddy end up?
Win?
He went to Win.
Yeah, he went to Win.
Yeah, because Win's coach went to Heber. Yeah,
that's right. That's correct. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And then Win had to deal with that tornado.
And
craziness. So they had a tough year. I think he still made the playoffs, but that's Win's like Newport. Even on down year, you better make playoffs. But anyway, yeah. No surprises, I guess, like I said, in the first round. But second round, I don't know. If people want to look at it as a surprise, that's great.
Here's something that I had several people ask me over the weekend, and that was 222 yards of playoff record from Antonio Phillips as far as rushing. And I haven't had a chance to research it. I have called a few people, and most people are telling me that may be a record, and I don't remember anybody doing that. And regardless, I want to talk about that kid because we talked about him all year long. Boy, if we were counting on him early and had some health issues.
Yep.
And then when we got him back, I think he just gave you a glimpse of what's to come.
Well, we saw we've seen this last year as a 10th grade.
Sure.
C.J. Young.
Sure.
One of the best we've ever had. Come through here playing college ball right now. So his reps were limited, but we saw some glimpses last year, and we saw it practice. Well, he had health issues early on, and it took him, mid-season for you to clear.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you don't just come in mid-season and just full speed. It took acclimation time to get him, excuse me, a little sick. A little better than I was Friday night, though.
Yes, you are.
But I didn't, that didn't surprise me to see that. I knew that was in him. And
You told me before we started this year that you said, we're counting on this guy. This guy can go.
And it was out of his control that he wouldn't get to play.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
He was sick to his stomach that he wouldn't get to play. And it all worked out. We got him back, acclimated, got him back in the groove. We had him the ball at Yellville. He pops a 70-yarder, and then he started to hit some pretty good carries last week. We had the turnover issues, and I was so happy to see this game could build his confidence through the rest of his playoffs and then into the senior year. Those are the kind of games that change your career, knowing you could do it.
Right.
You did it. No turnovers. Just watching his patience, following the guards. Reminded me of somebody I played ball with that he might be related to.
And I played with Bubba's daddy.
There you go.
I played with his daddy.
And I told him, I said, I don't know if your daddy ever had I said, oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he did in playoffs, but he
Right, absolutely.
I said, I think he pushed 250 a few times. I remember some games, but it's fun to prod him like that. He smiled real big. He was excited. I said, you sore today? No, I'm good, Coach. I said, normally you carry the ball 22, 24 carries, something like that.
I don't remember how many carries. I just remember it was 222 yards, 222.
Normally,
I think 23 carries, 222.
There you go.
He had averaged 10 per carry from the very beginning.
Great vision, great patience, following his blockers, and then breaking tackles.
Yes.
And then getting those extra yards. Just it was enjoyable to watch. Proud of him. Played great on defense. Again, I'm very excited to watch and see what we can do this week with him. But that's what he was born to do, and that confidence right there. I think it's going to carry.
A lot of times he'd hit up in supposed to be, maybe the hole's supposed to be right inside the blocking back or whatever, and they do a good job of setting the edge until he unsets the edge.
Well, we teach.
He can unset an edge.
We teach it all the time. I try not to teach athletes too much because you're better than I ever was. You and Money and all those guys, But please press it up in there and then cut out late because it brings everybody in. Yeah. Or if you get past it, then I tell them you just eliminated a lot of guys that can tackle you. So there's little things like that they'll listen to, and then I said after that you do what you do. I can't tell you how to make people miss and house call it. I couldn't do that. I was a straight line runner.
And a pretty good blocker too.
I'd block you and run it hard as I could and run you over.
That's exactly right. And I don't know whether I told you this or not, but I called Luke Reardon the other night, and just like I called you instead of Brian Reardon.
That's funny.
I said, I'm just going to get all the Reardon boys in on the broadcast.
There you go.
I'm going to get them all. I'm going to get them all in, and I may get all the Reynolds family in. Talk about Michael Reynolds, who was an All-State quarterback.
I remember him.
His daddy was Brian and Tina, and
he ran all over us one year at Southside.
Yeah, he was a good one, boy. He was good. He was All-State in baseball and in football, and quarterback and pitcher and center fielder, and great athlete. But and speaking of athletes and great accomplishments, just talking about sports, Michaela Gist.
Yeah.
Signs, and I talked with Lauren Sampson today, and she'd asked me, she said, look, I don't want to post this unless I know this for a fact. And then I researched a little bit, and I couldn't remember anybody, and we posted it, the Booster Club did, as whether or not she was the first Division I athlete to ever sign out of Newport, and I don't remember another.
Female athlete, I'm assuming.
Female athlete, female athlete, absolutely, yeah, female athletes. Yeah. For girls softball or girls basketball or girls track, or absolutely, first female. Yeah, we've had a lot of Division I others, lots of them. And I mean, that's a pretty good accomplishment for her to be the first one.
She's a competitor. She's a hard worker.
Yeah.
You know, she got cheerleader of the week this week.
Is that right?
You know, I mean, she was playing basketball up till last year, and I think they had some injury issues there, and she knew that softball was her future. But yeah, these kids do a good job of multi-sporting and participating in other activities and all that. And I tease her all the time. I still have a $100 bet. I told her that if she gives me 3 pitches, I'll hit one of them over the fence. I really don't know what the odds are of that. But hey, look, I'll donate it to the softball team.
There you go.
Well, I probably whiff on all 3 of them.
I wouldn't get in the box, my friend. At my age, I would not get in the box.
But you know, I still think I got it in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get up there and I don't know. So I tease her all the time about that. Maybe one of these days we'll have some fun with it and see if I can even touch it.
There you go.
Close my eyes and throw the bat out there. See if it hits something.
Coach, I'm going to let you get out of here early tonight. I just wanted to get to visit with you and talk about our Graham team and talk about our Graham kids. When I did the interview the other night, I was so excited that I couldn't find Bubba. I didn't know whether Bubba or BJ.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't. I looked, and you know, you said he's over there. Somebody said he's over there. And, you know, I had Antonio too. And I was so excited that I talked about Tonio, but I didn't give a chance to say anything.
Oh, he's probably okay with that.
He was, because he looked like he really won't say anything.
He's not like it's not like his dad. His dad won't shut up, but
yeah.
And Tonio, you can't even say much.
But I know that the kids were so excited about themselves, and when I read the 23 rushes, 222 yards, the kids just went berserk.
Oh, they love Tonio. He's you know, like I said, he's quiet, reserved, and then just comes in. He never misses practice. He's there every day and just doing work. You know, they love him. He's one of the favorites on the team. So they were equally excited for him. I think probably more so than he was.
Absolutely.
So that is good to see that, you know, that's camaraderie and the kids care about each other's success, and that's when you know you got a team building. You know?
And I meant to honor. I first asked for the seniors, and then I got the guys who didn't get to play, you know, in that game. I got them up there and kind of highlighted them, and I didn't get. I just forgot. You know, sometimes when you get 67 years old, a lot of times when you're 67 years old, you just kind of forget what you're doing or where you are and what you need to do. And with you know, we're just trying to do our best. And Hayden was gone, and that kind of got us out of the mix. And I had to do the play-by-play. I didn't have to. I probably should let KP or Ben do it. I don't see real well.
And KP, you know, he's got big time awards.
Yeah, he did.
I can't believe you didn't let him have it. You know?
Well, you know, I was kind of living my old school broadcasting, and he did. He won an awesome award.
Sully Award.
Yeah, last year was a great call too. And it's hard to get a Sully Award when you're doing football calls. Football. This is what Bud Black told me about radio.
Yeah.
Regardless how non-exciting the play is, you can make it as exciting as you want.
That's
to.
true.
You can make when it's live radio, but I'm not taking anything away from what his call was.
Oh,
his call was a great call. It was great. And
I remember the play was the last play of the half at Salem. DJ Marshall threw it up as the buzzer rang to Colin Cricht.
Right.
Yeah. For about a 70, 80-yard touchdown.
And it was a great call. Hayden Schultz has made some of the greatest ones on ours. Bud Black was absolutely a master.
Yeah.
I mean, did it for so long, master of radio broadcasting. He and Freeman Travis together, I think I posted this on Facebook this past weekend, he and Freeman Travis together were the best radio announcers that I have ever heard at any level. And I'm just talking about I'm talking about the high school level, and I'm talking about AAA or, you know,
any high school level.
High school level, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of college announcers who there's a lot of college announcers who were not as good as those guys on radio. They could paint a picture, and I listened to the Alma game, the 81 Alma game the other day, trying to determine if Billy Warren rushed for over 200-plus yards, and listening to the broadcast, and I was there. I was there at the game, but I was on the home sideline, on the visitor sideline, doing halftime reports. And the other guys were across the way in the booth, and I'm looking at the game here, but as I listen to those guys, I'm seeing it from where they were calling. Now, that is pretty good.
What you're supposed to, when you're good at what you do in that area, that's what you're supposed to do. Well, did Billy have 222 yards?
I didn't get that far. I didn't get that far along, but I did talk to a friend of his, and he said that he thought he did. But anyway, I don't know. I'm going to research it. I'm going to go through the whole film, which I have most of that.
I know Bubba Phillips had some really good playoffs.
And you know, and here's and I'm not taking anything away from Antonio, because we played a team that was supposed to be even with us as far as seeding goes.
5-5, you know.
For years, then it was when you played, and you say, well, what seed did you play? Well, you played number 1 seed the first round. You played number 1 seed the second round, and you played the number 1 seed the third round. So, and then they added the second, and then they went to 4, and now we got 5. And I mean, that's obviously a money-making deal somewhere along the road that I won't mention. But anyway,
it's good. You know, it is good for.
But it's good for kids to get the opportunity.
It's good for a lot of kids like that. You know, with some of these smaller schools. Because I know I experienced it at Southside. We experienced it this year. We wouldn't. If it was just 1 or 2, we wouldn't have got
That's
in.
exactly right.
But we always had that goal to get that 4 seed. You know, the 5 seed.
Absolutely.
And then when we got that, we were like, that's boring. We did it a few times. We were like, how about we get that 1 or 2 seed? We were able to get that. But it gave those little communities hope, and it really it can be a good thing. Sometimes five, maybe too many. I don't know.
But you know what? And we've been a 5 seed a time or two that we wouldn't have gotten in our streak.
Yeah.
Which 44 out of the last 46 years we've been in the playoffs. Yeah. Out of the last 46 years we've been there 44 times, 28 in a row at one time. We didn't go in '86. We didn't go in 2015. But 44 of the last 46, and the only other team that I checked a lot of schools from all the 7A all the way down to the Class A schools of who was more. And I think Rising was at 46, and this was their 47th, and we were at 43, and this was our 44th. So nobody, and Rising's always been a smaller school than us, but nobody that was in our classification had been to the playoffs as many times as we have. And Charleston, I think, owns the record for, owned the record for the most. They were right behind us when we went 28 in a row, and then they won a couple, and then maybe didn't go, but it didn't continue on for much longer. But anyway, it's good to get the playoffs.
It's
man.
consistency around here. There's a lot of talent around. I mean, that helps too, doesn't it?
It always helps when you got a little talent.
That's right.
Coach, I appreciate it. As always, you joined us here on Sports Unleashed to talk about our Greyhounds, and good luck to you this coming week. We'll be down there early, just like you guys will, and they're going to let us play 4 quarters, 12-minute quarters, and then at the end of the game, they're going to say, one of you guys get to play the next round.
That's right. Thanksgiving, maybe we'll do coffee and donuts at the
There you go. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
No, I'm good with that.
Coach Brian Reardon, head football coach, athletic director of Newport Greyhounds, and as always, go Hounds. Subway Coaches Report, the Unity Health players of the game, and look at all this bunch right here. In a time when things didn't go quite well for us last week, it went real well for us this week, 36-8. Playoff game, Newport Greyhounds. We want to talk with, first of all, number 15, senior B.J. Elston. B.J., here we go. Hey, listen. Big victory, last football game potentially that you'll ever play here. How's it feel?
It feels great. I'm just glad to know that everybody had our back and we fought for another game for our brothers that didn't get to play tonight.
All right, 4. Antonio, you come from a long line of Phillipses that have played here. I'm an old guy. I played with a guy named Tommy Phillips, who happens to be related to you. And then I saw Bubba Phillips play in a state championship game. And let me tell you what I saw tonight. I saw about as good an effort that I've seen in a long time by a Newport Greyhound. 222 yards, 24 carries. And 1 TD. Give me the seniors right up here. First of all, give me the guys that did not get an opportunity to play tonight. Y'all come step up right here. Step up right here. The guys that did not get an opportunity to play. If you did not get an opportunity to play tonight, stand up here. All right, guys, here's what I want to say. Sometimes things don't go our way. They didn't go our way last week. We did great tonight. They're going to go our way next week, and we're going to continue to roll through these playoffs right here because we're the Newport Greyhounds. All right, we'll say Greyhounds on 3. I'll talk with Coach coming right up. I get to do this right here. Everybody right here. We're going to say Go Hounds on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Hounds! Congratulations, guys. Good job, guys. Good job. We'll get Coach in here momentarily. You can't talk.
I won't be much fun, but I'll try.
Coach, listen, just a wonderful night. Win a playoff game at home, survive in advance. We did that, but we did it in a fashion that was pretty darn dominant.
Yeah, our kids were extremely motivated for some of those guys that were unjustly sat. Some of them deserved it. You know, a couple of them did, but the other ones did not. And it motivated the heck out of them. Tuesday and Wednesday were unbelievable practices. Those young guys were, hey, it's my turn, man. Let me play. And by God, they showed up and played ball, didn't they? I didn't necessarily see the mercy rule coming, but we'll take it.
Hey, listen, anytime you get a victory, it's great. When you get a mercy rule victory, it's great. You're in the playoffs. You're surviving and advancing. That's the name of the game. You can't get to round 2 unless you win round 1, and we've won round 1.
Yes, sir. Like I said, I won't be much fun. It's been a crazy week for me, but I love it. I'm so proud of it. I mean, a lot of those kids, we've been in that situation where backups have had to play all year. And I said, if anybody's fit for this in the state of Arkansas, it's us, because we've played all our kids all year just due to other circumstances. And you saw it. Did you see a fall off? I mean, new D-line. There was a whole new D-line there in the backfield every down.
I saw great effort by our team.
Absolutely, man. That was just physical. I challenged them this week to be physical. I said playoff football is one on physicality, and we certainly won that.
Coach, congratulations on the next week. We're going to go to wherever. I know it's right down there by Camden. It's a long way. Harmony Grove. They did win tonight. They beat by.
Hey, look, I'm undefeated against By.
Always have you. Coach, congratulations. And as always, go Hounds. Strong formation to the left side this time. Single receivers both sides. 2 coming this way. Middle screen picked off by Carson Austin. He's to the 50, and we clip at the 35-30. Carson's going to go score, but the Hounds are going to be called for a clip back here at about the 38-yard line.
Oh, what a return and what a play.
Man.
Just misfortunate.
Carson right now thinks he has a touchdown, guys, and good for him. He did, but like Dave said, we got a clipping.
A loss back to the 32, and that's a loss of 5. 2nd and 15. Quarterback in trouble again, and now he escapes the trouble. And what a great play coming up from the defensive back position. Number 5, Sam Doyle.
Sam
big
the
hit
man,
by Sam.
baby. Sam the man Doyle just coming up doing his job. Just a big hit. Put him in the clubhouse for the Fathead collision of the week.